We're live. Morning, Jack.
Good morning.
How are you? As if we haven't just been talking for the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, we have not seen each other previously.
No, not at all.
I'm fine, Scott. How are you doing?
I'm not bad. It's the weather's not great this weekend, is it? It's been good, but now it's not, which is wonderful because it's
been far too hot.
It has been far too hot for a
disappointed.
start. It's been far too hot for a start. I have not slept in the last 2 days. And
which is why the news we're going to give you is going to be top notch.
Exactly.
2 full days finding the death.
2 full days just not sleeping news. I've retitled this episode 9, but I don't know if it is. It could be anywhere between 3 and 30 for all I know.
Yeah, it's all blended together.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I'm thrilled about the bad weather actually, Jack, because there's been some big news this week that beaches are being swarmed, specifically my beaches.
It's like D-Day all over again.
Well, as I doxed myself last week.
That was 2 weeks ago. I know time's confusing.
Was it? Is it actually? Okay. Well, as I oh god, I told you all where I lived a couple of weeks ago. But I lived in Poole, near Bournemouth, where the beaches... Apparently there were 500,000 people, not just on the beaches, but coming down to Dorset on like Thursday or something. Hottest day of the year, wasn't it? And it was bad. It was parking everywhere. No parking, people parking on pavement.
I'm surprised they could even fit 500,000 people, let alone with any semblance of distancing.
Well, exactly. It's mad, and it's probably yes. Anyway, that's not very important news. That beaches are bad.
It's important to us.
It's important to us. It's important to us, and it's important to me that this weather drives every. Well, it's the whole of Reading, basically.
All of Reading go back.
All of Reading just poured into Dorset. This, as I understand it, this after in the last few days, and now the bad weather's going to drive them away, which is nice.
Thank the Lord.
I was even thinking of doing a good deed and doing some litter picking. I mean, I didn't do it, but the fact that I was thinking of doing it sort of makes me feel like I'm a good person.
You considered it. You thought about what it would be like to do a good deed, which I think is the main hurdle of doing the good deed.
Exactly. Well, it's
the same.
Exactly. It's one step closer than I normally get.
Well, I think it's the majority of the way.
It is the majority of the way. So if you're thinking about doing a good thing, then you've basically spiritually done it.
You have to spend a lot on thinking, and there's only a tiny little step at the end that's actually doing it. But
actually doing it, exactly. So I was thinking about helping clear up the beaches that the population of Reading came down and
destroyed
and defecated on, and
wonderful.
And I didn't actually do it, but I felt good about thinking about it. What's been going on with you? Has there been any big news that?
I found one. You? Well, actually, I need to search through my many big newses. There was one unfortunate one, which I thought was rather serious.
Oh,
if I can actually find it again.
What are you saying? The beaches being taken over isn't serious.
Pakistan.
I think it's very serious. Oh,
Pakistan is.
Oh no! Okay, it's a different level of serious. I see.
Pakistan is a developed country. Pakistan has planes now. I don't know about you, but
that's the only metric.
I'm not sure I can drive a plane. Do you think you could drive a plane?
Well, I believe the term is not drive, is it? It's fly, isn't it?
Do you think you could fly a plane?
To be fair, if it was driving, so if I was just
on
the ground, then I could. If I didn't have to take off, I probably could drive a plane. I couldn't fly a plane though.
Yeah, you couldn't fly.
Or actually, again, I probably could, but I wouldn't land it.
Does it make you confident to know that 1 in 3 pilots in Pakistan have fake aviation licenses?
I saw this. It does actually, because
that's terrible.
It's horrifying.
That is actually terrible.
It is terrible. It is also one of my favourite bits of
news.
There
were almost 300 pilots who did not take the exam themselves, who have a license. Someone else took it for them and gave them the license, and now they're flying planes.
Oh dear, that is brilliant.
It's horrendous. And it shows a nice picture of a large plane crash. Thank you, CNN Business. I'm not sure how this is business related, but thank you.
Yeah.
He went. Someone Khan went on a large flight where both people had fake licenses. The pilots discussed corona throughout the flight and were not focused at all.
Yeah, but then they don't. I swear, most pilots aren't.
Yeah, I don't think people are like permanently focused because really the hard bit is landing and taking off in these big planes.
Yeah, exactly. It's I feel like I could take off a plane, just probably not land it.
Yeah, you try that.
Well, no, obviously not. But it's the sort of thing that I can say and never have to actually.
Yeah, you don't actually have to quantify your statement.
Yeah, exactly. No one's ever going to disprove it because I'm never going to try it. So it's an unfalsifiable theory.
This is my next one. Devin Nunes, the American politician. Heard of the man?
Let's say I have. Yeah.
Well, he's not always popular.
No, I don't know. Go on, tell me who.
He's a Republican representative for California. And as a Republican, he gets some flack occasionally because they've occasionally done things that are occasionally not so great. If I say occasionally enough, I seem like I'm being unbiased.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the Democrats have as well.
They also have. Americans have occasionally done things that are not okay.
Americans,
he has recently been told by a judge after going to court that he cannot sue Twitter over accounts posing as his mother and a cow. There is a prolific account going, which is called Devin Nunes' Cow, and it's a picture of a cow going with the head tilt.
Is that the face? That's the.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I thought everyone should know what it looked like. And he was trying to sue Twitter because some people had made an account for his mother and for his cow.
You can't sue Twitter for that.
He's learned that you can't. He's learned on the hard way after spending money. He wants.
Did he spend a lot of money on a lawsuit?
He was demanding $250 million from Twitter.
I feel like they're easy. I like it's not easy. It's not easy to make $250 million, but I feel like there are easier ways of making $250 million.
Just get knuckle down and try and make money. It's more likely than
just inherit your dad's company and win that profit. That's it. I don't understand why people are poor. No. It's not hard. You should just I worked
Speaking of court cases, did you see Twitch, the streaming platform?
Yes.
Did you see the court cases being levied against them?
No, tell me about it.
There was a man who was suing them for $25 million there's a man suing them for $25 million because of the scantily clad woman on the website.
The scantily clad women, or just woman singular?
He wants lots of them banned. Famous Twitch streamers such as Alinity, Pokemon. Banned.
We're going to play a little game of incel or conservative.
Do you want to take a guess?
Actually, I don't know.
I do know which one.
No. Is it? I want to. So, my thinking here, it's either a sort of uber conservative far right incel who is upset with gamer girls, and that, or that it shouldn't be for women. Or alternatively, it's like a suburban dad who, like, the sort that puts their kids in chastity belts.
They're good. Well, it's the former.
It's the former. Okay.
It's the former. Very upset that there is no way to search by gender of the streamer, and they have very poor self-control, and they are doing certain things that are leading to injury to a level that's leading to injury.
Leading to injury. Oh my god!
One of the things stated that the injuries were so bad they had to put stuff on to stop necrosis forming, which is pretty bad.
Oh my god!
And yeah, so he's suing them for $25 million and the banning of these streamers.
Oh my lord!
That is Jack, bringer of news, as you can see.
That is news. That is phenomenal.
He seems like he's got OCD. He seems like he has Eric Estavilo. He does seem like he has a few problems, given what he was doing before.
Really? You reckon?
He's following 786 female streamers and 0 male streamers.
He's right. But he blames Twitch for this.
He says that this part because there's no way of filtering streamers by gender, but it's not like it's hard to find male streamers either. So even if he could filter them, presumably he'd still be following all these female streamers.
Yeah. That's unbelievable. That is brilliant.
Yeah, this is another level of strange court cases.
That is phenomenal.
But goodbye to your livelihood to all those people who are going to be banned by this court case, because I assume it's definitely going to have a big impact on the space.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Yeah, watch this space because this is going to be a big story.
Big time.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good. Now, let's talk about what are we going to talk about? We can talk about Rebecca Long Bailey.
Oh yes.
Just briefly, someone this week said that she looked like sort of a waxwork of Miley Cyrus that had gone wrong, which I thought was, if unkind, probably accurate.
I can see it.
I
can see it.
Discount.
Harsh, but not strictly incorrect.
Harsh, but not incorrect. Keir Starmer has purged her.
Yeah, she of course has been sacked for what I would describe as not the most legitimate reasons.
Well, that's the thing. I think it's the sort of thing here. The Labour Party is once bitten, twice shy about anti-Semitism. Quite rightly.
Yes.
He just doesn't want any. And also, he has been very. This isn't the only thing. He has been quietly positioning people close to him, and removing Corbynists.
She was sort of Corbyn-esque and his rival in the leadership election. So I don't think he was too chagrined to get rid of her.
No, I'm sure there was nothing to. Yeah.
But yeah, she didn't. Reading the thing, she didn't seem to do anything too bad. It seemed to be a conflagration of Israel and Jewishness altogether.
Yeah, so she retweeted. That's right. Yeah. She retweeted an article which had elements of. To be fair, I do believe her when she says, the thrust of the article wasn't the bit. That wasn't what I meant. But you've got to be careful with these things. I think it was just a silly mistake, and Keir
she should have been a lot.
Keir was looking for a reason to get rid of her. Although,
especially
to be fair,
with the Labour environment, it was definitely something to be more careful about.
I don't buy the statement that said we gave her multiple opportunities to take the article down, and she didn't, and that's why we sacked her. But we wouldn't have if she had taken it down. I don't buy that.
Well, I feel like she would have taken it down very quickly if she was given these opportunities, to be honest.
Well, or if the party had, because she did take it down eventually. But if
but not in
her, I don't know. I think they wanted to get rid of her.
I think they want to get rid of her, and it makes you look strong against anti-Semitism, which Labour has obviously had problems with in the past. So they need a few wins, like saying we have sacked a shadow cabinet person because of anti-Semitism is a pretty good look, to be honest, for a party who's been accused of it.
Yeah, it's a smart move on Starmer's part, I think. He continues to impress me. I like Keir Starmer a lot. And,
he's a funky man. He's
well, he is, but like
surprisingly competent, actually.
I like
isn't he?
yeah, exactly. PMQs this week. He knows exactly what he's doing. He goes out there, slaps the government with a couple of statistics that he knows are misleading. Boris rightly admonishes him and says, "Keir, come on, those aren't those statistics. They're not. Don't be saying those things because they're
Stop
misleading.
me say, please.
Stop be talking." And he to which Keir replied, "Yeah, I know they are. They're your statistics. They were on your slide yesterday in the evening. Boom, back of the net.
That one.
Roasted. Yeah,
I assume he dabbed right there.
Yeah, that's it. And everyone clapped, and he dabbed several times.
What a man. I miss the days. I miss the old bants of PMQs with David Cameron. I mean, say what you will about the man and his policies, but the bants they had in PMQs was perfect. He had the wit to just throw these jokey insults out of people.
To be fair, and Miliband,
Miliband was surprisingly good.
For all his faults as a politician and a political leader, and sandwich eater, he's a funny guy. Yeah. Like I like him a lot more now. He's not Labour leader.
Yeah,
do you follow it? He's quite funny on Twitter. He's got a little bit of charm about him, I think.
Well, that's all he's got left.
That's all he's got left.
He was the Shadow Secretary of State for Energy and Climate Change.
I wonder if he is. I wonder if he really ever thought he was going to be Prime Minister. Like, really? If he thought he had
a hope in there somewhere.
Maybe. Bless him. I like him. Poor guy.
I do feel really bad for a public figure who was repeatedly told, repeatedly goes to hear, "I wish we chose your brother."
Yes, exactly.
That's just horrible.
He's got that whole thing of like, "Oh, the other brother's better." So you've got to play up. You've got to play up. You've got to make people laugh. If the other brother is objectively,
you've got to find something else.
Yeah. So that's some Labour news. I think no, we don't. That's right. No, I was going to say I think we have to be balanced and talk about something about the Tories, but I think
there's a lot to talk.
That's only in the run-up to an election. So
terrible coronavirus response. That can be our that would be good. Other side.
But what are we? We're nearly. Give us some.
Do you want more news?
Yeah, give us some. I want. Yeah, I want
as a news show.
I want news, Jack.
Well, Texas realtor.
That's your full name, isn't it?
Yeah, actually. Well, it hasn't got my middle name, which is the greatest.
Right, and that's presumably put in between of and news.
No, it comes at the end.
News the greatest. or they put in Jack the bringer greatest news of.
Yes, that's you did it. I'm surprised. Not many people can get it. A Texas realtor. Texas realtor will no longer be using the word master to describe bedrooms and bathrooms for fear of its slave-based connotations.
Oh.
Do you think that is a good response?
God, life's futile, isn't it?
Is this them making good strides towards helping, or is this an example of people going weirdly too far over?
Based on my reaction, what do you reckon I think, Jack? Just have a stab in the dark.
I'm going to guess that you think that we shouldn't be using the term bedroom or bathroom as well for fear of other connotations that I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah. Bed, it has 3 letters. 3 is 2 letters. 3 is 2 less than 5. 5 years is how long the Confederacy lasted for. And 2 is the number of the Lord, and therefore
yes.
I'm trying to use sure. I'm trying to use some Harold counting logic.
Similarly, actually, this isn't just for these people. The Court of Sommeliers, who of course are the wine tasters, will no longer be using Master Sommelier as a title for the for passing the exam. No master, just sommelier.
They're replacing.
Funny you should bring up the whole.
I'd be fuming if I was a master sommelier.
Yeah, you would be.
Imagine if you'd
now you're
worked
just a
all
normal
that time.
smelly boy.
Imagine if
You're
you'd
not a
worked-
master one.
Exactly. Imagine if you'd worked all that time. You'd lost so many friends from your obnoxious habit of pretending to know what wine is.
Yeah, drinking wine with them and telling them it's bad because it tastes too flowery and not too fruity.
Or as my grandparents did to one of their obnoxious neighbours, amateur sommelier neighbours.
Murder.
Murder. Other than murder, but before that, they invited him round for dinner. It's the only time they've ever been in an Aldi in their life, but they did it specifically to go.
To go buy Aldi wine?
They got the cheapest wine they could, £3, and switched the label.
Dress it up like it's fancy.
Yeah, dressed it up, and the guy was he was so into it. He was like, this is some of the best wine I've ever tasted.
That is all sommeliers are.
The grandparents are sitting there cringing. I
don't want to cast aspersions on the Court of Sommeliers, but they're all basically scam artists.
Well, exactly. Imagine you've lost all of your friends, your family despise you, and you're lying
to everyone you know.
And you've become French, worst of all,
basically,
in every meaningful way, and just to get the Master Sommelier title. And then they take it from you.
And now you're just a normal sommelier.
You're just a normal sommelier. I would be suicidal if I'd come through all that.
Did you see that years ago they did a test? There was a paper that was doing tests on sommeliers, and it was dyeing red and white wines, and they couldn't even tell that white wines dyed red were actually white wines.
I did see that.
With no taste changing.
No,
it was just visual. And almost none of them noticed.
There's a big study like this, like it once every 2 years or so. There's a scientific study where they do something with sommeliers. Like, I don't know, this one thought that this Capri Sun was vintage wine, and everyone laughs at that. Everyone in the world laughs at the beginning.
I soaked Fruit Loops in water and gave them. They thought it was wine.
It is my favourite. This one ate a hamburger and thought it was a Malbec.
It turns out hamburger smoothie is not wine. Exactly. That sounds revolting. Funny that you should mention.
Fluid, and he was, talking about the vintage
for years. Funny you should mention, as you did earlier, the whole using numbers to work out the end of the world, all of that situation. You remember last week I told you that the end of the world was coming. It was coming last week. Weirdly, I don't know if we're breaking news for anyone here, but it didn't happen. The world is still here. I'm still here. My phone's still here. My mouse is still here. Everything's still here.
I mean,
so there's had to be a reevaluation. So there's been a reevaluation, and there were a few months off actually. December the 21st is going to be the end of the world. So
is it? Who was it that remind us? Who predicted the end of the world, Jack, last week?
Christian evangelists, according to this article. Paul Begley.
Paul Begley. Okay, so he's the new Harold Camping who did this in 2011 and also in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Paul Begley.
Was June the 21st, so 6 days ago. The Great Awakening was supposed to happen. It didn't. Again, used but in December the 21st, he got the month wrong. He got the day right, but the month wrong. 4 days before Christmas, the world will end.
You're right, but
I am right. The world will end.
Oh my god. Okay, I just went onto his website and there's no video playing, but he started talking to me.
He looks very, very American pastor.
He looks as American as it gets. No, but I think it's important that these people exist because, as everyone said, in the Bible says, no man can know the day or the hour, right? So it's actually a sin most churches say it's a sin to actually predict the rapture, and no man can know the day or the hour. So it's important that these people exist and keep predicting it. So God has to move his schedule.
That's true. Maybe they're right. And as soon as it's predicted, he's like,
He's like, oh, well, I've got to push it back.
to December
I really
31st.
think no one gets it this time. For God's sake, for my
What's my
sake.
next biblical-based date I can choose?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I'll just make it on. I've got a Christmas present for you, son. I'm ending. No, I think it's very important that these people exist. So God keeps having to go. I told them that they couldn't predict it, and I proved them right. Can I move it back another decade?
I need to be more unpredictable.
It's people like Paul Begley and Harold Camping who are saving us all from hellfire and brimstone.
Great men.
Yeah,
I guess if they admit that that's why they're doing it, then it doesn't count because they're not actually predicting it.
Exactly. So it's very important that they don't
that
think
everyone thinks
they're doing it. That they don't know that that's what they're doing.
I see. This makes a lot of sense.
Exactly. I'm playing 5D chess with God here.
God probably plays even higher.
Yeah.
I've got a fairly bad article actually. Las Vegas police are planning to have a well, it's not LAPD, they're even worse.
They're not going to do an all live
$280 per hour fee for body cam footage to be given out to anyone.
What?
They want there's debate about whether or not this is legal, so we'll see if it actually happens. But
I feel my instinct
almost $300 to see. Well, because they already make you pay actually.
Do they? I did not.
They currently is $192
to see body cam footage.
So you have to. This doesn't quite seem like freedom of information and scrutiny of police, but
a TV show. We're
even
living in
currently, you have to pay $200 to see body cam footage.
So the Vegas police just want to up the price.
Yes,
$300.
Well, that's at Vegas.
Is that by the hour? Is that by the hour?
Yeah, by the hour.
Jeez. I mean, to be fair, there's a good chance
something's happened to like your relative, and it doesn't get any news, and you're not a rich person. You might not be able to fork up $300 to check the body cam footage.
No.
Most people in you, Las Vegas. Not that I was particularly impressed with any part.
I'm not surprised, but I am. Yeah.
They do like money there, so this sort of.
They do. I feel like or is it $300 or a round of blackjack? Like, and if you win, you get it, but if you lose, they get to taser you to death.
Yeah. If you beat me at roulette, then I'll give you it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't like. I mean, this is the sort of thing. This is why I can't do a serious news show because
it's just painful.
Because if you think about, anything going on in the world, for more than 12 seconds, you just wake up. You wake up screaming in the middle of the night. It's impossible. Yeah. You can't do it at the moment. I mean, I know every generation and every year everyone says, "Oh, we're living in the end times and everything's awful and isn't everything bad?"
We are in the extra bad year.
But I feel like we're justified with 2020.
Well, it's okay. I've got you some more bad news.
God,
Ohio, one of the state lawmakers, official state lawmaker in Ohio, publicly asked if the colored population is hit harder by coronavirus because they don't wash their hands as well. Make of that as you will.
Yeah, no, that's one of those headlines.
It's called Steve Huffman, state senator.
Okay.
He's an emergency room physician.
Right, no, hang on, no. It's one thing when it's a politician saying it.
But they're also an ER physician.
So an ER physician. That's not great.
Oh, no.
Oh, dear. That is the... Did he say... So his words were the coloured people.
Yes, that was the worst part, I think. Well, actually, no, I'm thinking that they don't wash their hands.
That isn't... Yeah, I was going to say that's both as bad. I mean... To be fair, the nomenclature isn't even that important.
They've got a nice sentence in the article. This is not the opinion of leading medical experts in this country. Thank you.
Oh, really? That's good. The fact that they even had to clarify that in a disclaimer.
Somewhat worrying.
Unbelievable. But no, I do. Why is I don't want to? I'm going to sound really ignorant here, but. And I don't know why I'm asking you because you're not going to know the answer.
I know everything.
No offense, but Why is coloured more offensive and people of colour isn't?
Well, I remember actually, there was a
there
radio
must be a reason, and I'm
appearance
sure
by
there's
Diane
direct
Abbott and someone else.
Right.
He's less bad, although it's still a bit archaic set. But from what they were saying, the problem is people coloured implies like a level of doing. People of colour is just what they can call themselves, but coloured implies that white is normal and that they are coloured beyond normality.
But doesn't people of colour still have that?
I guess it has a bit, but I assume the implication is less heavy.
Welcome to another edition of Two Very White People.
Look how white I am.
Explain racism.
I'm like glow in the dark levels.
Yeah, exactly. You're so white that I'm the racial diversity here.
Exactly. Yeah, this is why you brought me in, so that they would have some diversity from you.
Exactly.
Oh
dear,
I've got more stories of horrendous police behaviour. Austrian police have fined a man £450 for a provocative fart in front of police officers.
Provocative.
What that means?
What's a provocative fart? That's like Monty Python Holy Grail. I fart in your general direction.
Yeah, exactly.
That clip of me saying
He's been fined for letting go of a massive intestinal wind with apparent full intent. That's worth almost £1,000.
Oh, £1,000.
No, nearly £500. Sorry, £450.
I mean, people say
£447.
This is the sort of Blue Lives Matter.
Of course, no one is reported for accidentally letting one go, but he's been punished for offending public decency, which apparently is a crime in Austria.
How hefty a fart does that have to be?
Well, it does refer to them as massive intestinal wind with apparent full intent.
Public decency laws. That is unbelievable. I saw
there are police problems going on all over the world, but I think Austria's got them worst. They're being assaulted by massive intestinal wind.
Unbelievable. I saw another one this week in the US. A video of a police officer telling this old dude to slap him.
That was terrible.
Did you see that? Telling an old dude to slap him, and he did.
And the guy keeps asking why, and eventually he does it.
And he just clocks him for doing what he was told. Yeah.
That was not good, and it's not like the guy slapped him straight away. He kept being like, "What?"
Yeah, exactly. Wait, really? I'm not gonna. I don't really want to do this.
And then he did when he was ordered to enough times.
You're gonna mace me in the face if I do this sort of thing.
Face mace. And he was.
It's
face mace.
It's a very specific brand of mace.
This is our new
Where else do you
self-defense.
see mace? Other than
nowhere.
I mean, I suppose in my grandma's soup, but
that's just.
I stand to inherit.
Sometimes grandmothers are just being annoying and have too much money.
That's true. Exactly, and too much health.
Christopher Columbus, not a popular man. Would you say?
Already know what you're going to say here. Yeah.
Is it the renaming of Columbus, Ohio?
Yeah.
Well, and to anyone who does happen to actually
what
pay
they renamed
to us,
it's something.
Well.
No, I'm going to try and guess.
Columbus it's been named after a famous man.
Rainbowville, no, Colortown, or like...
no, it is being named... Well, it is a petition, because obviously Columbus is an unpopular figure nowadays. It is a petition to rename it Flavortown, after Guy Fieri, the famous TV show,
that's awesome.
Diners, Drive-Ins and Dives.
I love that.
It's amazing. And if they do it, I am willing to move to Flavortown.
I want to move to Flavortown. I don't know why you wouldn't rename it to Flavortown.
Yeah.
Everywhere should rename to Flavortown.
But it is actually a hard question, to be honest, because they're considering changing their name, city seal, flag, and all symbols because of the Columbus. But it's pretty hard to entirely change your fairly large city's identity and know what to change it to. Apart from
in real terms, I cannot express how little I care about this, but I suppose
you're not big on renaming Columbus. Well, yeah, that's the thing. Does it matter if a place is named, say, Columbus?
Well, no, because like
without relation to them.
I'm not being funny, and I don't want to sound like one of these alarmists, the slippery slopists, and all that.
Oh,
but
I love the slippery slope argument.
Exactly. No, but like I don't want to sound like one of those, but I think there is something, like come on, just keep things the same, because otherwise,
Well, but there are interesting questions. Maybe not about slope, but about line.
The country of Niger is provocative enough, especially when I used to pronounce it in the way that I really shouldn't have.
Oh dear.
When I was first doing a Learn It World map, looking at it, oh, it's So it was quickly corrected on, but it is something that
the thing is
get cancelled for.
But the question, while you may not use slippery slope, line, where's the line, is sort of a question that could be asked. And I wonder, is it like fame that makes it important? For instance, there's Jamestown, of course, in America, named after James. He wasn't a very nice man at all, actually.
No, he wasn't.
Do we keep that?
No, it's like exactly it's colonial past that has over time come to mean other things that I feel like probably people have grown up enough to realise we're not necessarily revering this person. We can have the history of it and just I think statues is a different thing to.
I think there's a difference between a name that was named after someone but is now the name of a city and a statue of a person. Like exactly. I'm much more pro, like if there's someone who clearly did terrible things and people want them removed, I'm fine with that, because keeping them up definitely does have, even if not intentionally anymore, levels of support for them. I'd rather it went to a museum or something where they could explain it. But exactly. A city is a bit more, it's no longer their city, it's just the name of the city. When I think of Columbus, there aren't that many people, I think, who think of Columbus and are thinking of Columbus the man. They're thinking of well, they talk about Columbus, Ohio. It's just a city.
I'm all for going back to pre-modern names of cities and stuff. I want there to be I want there to be like 50 Alexandrias across the world.
Oh yes,
because that's going to confuse so many tourists who think they've booked one in, I don't know, in Macedonia, but in fact they're on a flight directly to the middle of Fallujah or something. I don't know where all the Alexandrias.
Can I go to Alexandria? Which one?
Which one? We've got. Here's a list. I want confused. Constantinople. Again, nothing against the Turks, but sounds so much cooler than Istanbul. I think
that is true. Constantinople.
Not that I'm one of these, embrace tradition Uber Christians who wants to retake the Holy Land, but you know what I mean.
Yes, we're not doing that. No Holy Lands will be recovered by anyone.
No, it's
unless you're taking that as a statement about the illegitimacy of Israel, which we will not get into.
Oh God, no, we're not. No.
Because that is definitely never a good thing.
Get into that.
Exactly. Newsn't has no statement on that matter.
We have no opinion. We just don't like. No, I'm not going to say anything.
No, just don't say anything bad.
I was going to do a joke, but I don't want to.
That's fine. I don't want Enoch to have to come and put us down.
Which he would do without hesitation, I'm sure.
He just appears behind you on the camera
without breathing a sweat. Without his.
He probably has people watching us constantly, ready to put us down if we see the wrong thing.
Exactly.
Well, at least through this window and shoot.
It would mean we have a viewer. Our MI5 agent is watching us.
I'm sure he is.
Yeah. So what else have we? Oh yeah. So I've got a couple of bits of news. You've been the bringer of news thus far, but I've got a couple of bits.
Because I am a news bringer.
We did talk about. Oh no, we don't talk before the show. This is the only time that we converse.
Yes.
All of our
we don't know each other at all.
No, we've never met. All of our conversations are content. Never one of us goes to say anything to the other outside of this. The other goes,
You're breaking a contract, actually, a legal contract.
It is,
and it's not just between us. We're not actually allowed to speak. There's 1 hour on Saturdays when we can speak.
Enoch has just commented, "Don't turn around," so that's good.
I won't. Is he out the window? This man.
Genuinely terrifying.
Thank you, Enoch. Please don't kill me.
Mercury.
I'd say I'm valued to be you alive, but I'm not really. But I bring news. See, is it there?
Anyway,
so
we've got some.
Be true.
We've got some news. We've got some news. You've heard about Times Radio. Times Radio is. I mean, this is old news. This is a few weeks old. Which I believe some members of the Raw community are now part of. I know Johnny Jenkins is. I think doing things.
So when are they taking these? Assume we're selling.
Well, I think they might.
I
think they'd love us because it's.
Yeah. I mean, apart from the fact that we're a massive liability to any network, we're fine.
I mean, it's Daddy Murdoch, isn't it? It's.
I don't know.
It's Big Daddy Rupert Murdoch.
Oh, yeah, Rupert Murdoch.
Yeah. Who did you think I was talking about there?
No. I meant I didn't know if it was him, and then I got Rupert Murdoch. I didn't know that he was that. I wasn't thinking, what other one?
Here we go. Radio is a massive step up from podcasts in terms of costs, says Keith Jopling, because, of course, the Times have done it before. And this is a report from The Economist I'm quoting from here. And whereas podcasts travel well abroad, Times Radio has a domestic focus. For this reason, some people detect a political motive. News UK's owner, Rupert Murdoch, is a long-time BBC critic. Last year, News UK commissioned a report claiming BBC Radio 5 Live was not meeting its regulatory obligations.
Oh, dear.
Basically, Murdoch wants to whack the BBC. So there you go. Our good friend Johnny is going to be
a BBC whacker.
A BBC whacker. He's going to turn into a sort of Nick Ferrari. I don't know where I'm going with this. Anyway,
I don't know either. Really, I mean, it is BBC Radio 5 he's talking about, and whoever scrolls down that far, it's.
I don't like BBC Radio 5 Live. No, I do. I like some of it. I used
to be honest, I don't listen to a whole lot of radio. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on Raw Facebook, but
neither. To be fair, neither do I.
I think he was onto something there, and the thing that he was onto was that podcasting is a better medium.
Yes,
not how great he is because radio costs more.
No, to be fair, I have been listening to more Raw recently. Just slowly trying to.
This is another point where I'd like to say, Enoch, do not kill me. I know I said that I didn't listen to much videos.
He's the bringer of news. I wouldn't have a show otherwise.
He wouldn't have any news, would it? How do I point a news from the side?
It's there for me. So I don't know if that's
news. See?
News. Yeah.
Am I not pointing at it for you? I'm pointing
you
at me.
You are pointing at it.
I can't coordinate myself to go that way and that way at the same time. This is difficult.
No, I want to keep watching you do this for the rest of the next 17 minutes.
We've got our entertainment now. Let's just keep going.
What else have we got? In other news, there's a chance Donald Trump's going to bring back nuking, and so some people think that esports should be in the Olympics.
Now, which one of them do you think is a more pressing concern to the world? I'd say probably the latter.
One, yeah.
Do you think that, as The Economist said, Fortnite should be in the Olympics?
Yeah, no. I mean, jeez.
Yeah, no, maybe. Well, that's a question. I mean, those things, like esports is getting popular enough that those arguments are made, but should they be in the same place or different? Is that insulting to the Olympics?
Is it? Then it's no more. Well, the argument would be that it's no more insulting to the Olympics than it is to include dressage, which is just Zara Phillips and some other minor royals prancing about, and
could have chess
and other equally banal, horsey private school girls watching and oohing over it and clapping.
Them.
That's literally what I don't like horses. Everyone loves horses.
Really?
Oh, beautiful.
No, horses aren't cool.
No.
And everyone
who
has horses, has a certain level of extreme wealth.
There is the horsey. As a private school person, I knew a lot.
Yeah, we've all met them. Yeah,
can't stand the sort of people that pretend to be cultured with their glasses and Prosecco, but also watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians religiously and think that that's high culture, and and don't know who Salvador Dali is. And I don't know why that was my go-to.
Yeah.
I have absolutely no idea why that was my go-to for an.
The thing I found meeting them is that having a horse is not a substitute for personality in any way.
But damn, will they try and convince
they'll
you?
Try and use it.
Yeah.
It's
if you like horses,
Tesco was selling personality, and there was a coronavirus going on, so they had to get a substitution. And Tesco was like, "Well, we can't give you personality. How about 10 horses, horse dancing, dressage, whatever it's called?"
And everyone went, "No, Tesco, we've had it with the horses. You've done this before."
No. Turns out it was just a lasagna.
Yeah. Lasagna is
water bottle.
Lasagna is unlike horses. Unlike the horses from which most of the lasagnas are made, lasagna is absolutely a substitute for a personality.
That's true. Only if you can do an Italian accent, though.
It's a substitute for friends.
Happiness.
I've been eating the same batch of lasagna for the last few days. But
should we have a peruse over the most reliable news network that we found?
Here we go. Okay, so this is what I was going to go for the grand finale here. So we've got 14 minutes left, and if you've stuck around this long, which my view count tells me you haven't.
well, I mean, it sort of tells us that no one was here to stick around, so it's fine.
No, that's good.
We haven't scared anyone away.
People will watch back episodes of this.
Something like that.
They won't. But anyway, no. Yes, we're here, and we have found the most reliable news source. Jack, what do you think of this headline? Jeffrey Epstein celebrates gay pride from the grave.
I'm seeing a few problems.
What emotions does that stir up in you?
The first one would be pity for the writer.
Pity. Well,
there's clearly something going on with the writer. It's not quite right in the head.
I'm gonna give you a peek behind the curtain here, viewers. Me and Jack did have Jack and I did have a look at this article a little bit before. The first paragraph.
I'm sorry to break the myth, but there is a little bit of preparation that goes into this.
This was written yesterday, by the way.
Enoch is also here, by the way.
Yeah, he is.
He doesn't like being slighted.
He is.
By you.
He also doesn't like capitalization at the beginning of sentences.
Yeah, who does?
And who does?
I'll have you know, you said no one back, our last episode has 3 views. And may I also point out, you were correct, you got the episode wrong. Last episode was episode 7, and this is episode 9.
9. This is episode 9, and I won't hear otherwise.
Anyway, about Jeffrey Epstein.
You've got that article up, I assume. I want you to read the first paragraph because I'm not brave enough.
Jeffrey Epstein's deep and dark secret is out. He was a gay deceiver. Let's remember this fact on Stonewall Day, June 26th, as Barack Hussein Obama emerges from the shadows to celebrate the anti-police riots at the mafia-run Stonewall Inn back in 1969.
We could do a whole episode on that sentence.
That one little paragraph.
There is so much to unpack from those.
There's a lot. I think there are some bits that are just tragic.
You choose it.
Worst, but the bit that I like the most has to be the classic, as you said, introduction of Hussein into Barack Obama, because there's nothing to discredit a man in the circles of absolutely insane right-wing Americans than putting in a foreign-sounding name, and the more foreign it sounds, the worse they'll do credibility-wise. So put the Hussein in. Hussein is going to make them think of the Middle East, and the Middle East to them is not good. So that is instantly putting him up there with all the bad people you can think of. So, and I'm glad to see that they fall back on that tactic.
Yeah, I mean, my favourite bit is the mafia. I mean, first of all, I'm pretty sure he's got Stonewall Day wrong. I'm not. I think it's June 28th, isn't it? It's tomorrow. I thought it was there.
It's 26th. It was yesterday.
Was it yesterday?
It's disappointing, Scott. You're supposed to be better than this.
Oh, maybe it's something else. Maybe it's like the riots were on that day or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
I think that might be it. I'm sure the riots were 28th. Anyway, my favourite bit is Mafia Run Stonewall.
The dates were 28. Yeah.
Is that like? I mean, I don't want to instantly bash this guy. Is that true? Because the Mafia did
Stonewall in Mafia. Well, it comes.
I mean, it's not really relevant. Is the point?
The Stonewall Inn was owned by the Mafia.
Right, fine, but it's also not the point, is it?
No,
Cliff. This bloke's called Cliff Kincaid, which is exactly the name that I would use for my fictional right-wing lunatic. That's what I would go with. I think if I had to make it up.
The most I can find is it seems to be owned by the Mafia, but not even in any illegal way. They just invested their money into a gay bar. Because to be honest, they did that quite a bit back then.
Well, exactly.
Not gay bars. I just mean everything. There came a point where they could make a lot of money with legitimate business.
There's a lot of stories about offshoots of gangs who were initially laundering money through like pizza joints and pizza places and things.
Yeah, then they just go and
they were like, yeah, this is, pizza place. And then everyone liked them so much that they just were like, hang on, we don't need to do crimes anymore. This is more profitable and less risky.
We're making more money from our pizzas.
Yeah. Anyway. Oh my! I'm not going to read the rest.
But there's a 5-word sentence in that paragraph. He was a gay deceiver.
He was, yep. Which he was he? I thought his whole thing was. I mean,
not 100% sure about this.
No, really? Yeah, I feel like we don't need this disclaimer.
I think the statement
any of this.
"gay deceiver" doesn't seem great.
Which of these other headlines do you want to move to next? This website, we should give them credit where it's due. They're mostly written by Cliff Kincaid.
The website's called Gulag Bound, if you'd like to find it.
It's called Gulag Bound, and it has its thesis down the side, which I'm now going to read. This is all in bold, or italics. If global collectivist shadow imperialism advances, ... we are Gulag bound. But God's own truth getting told, that's not happening. That's not a sentence. That's not a sentence.
What do these words mean?
That's not got anything. But God's own truth getting told, that's not happening. That doesn't make sense, does it? Am I mad? That doesn't make any grammar. Anyway, which of these articles on Google do you want to move?
I found one.
You got one.
It's just a statement. Stop pandering to leftists. Systemic racism.
I got that.
Big lie.
Yeah, I'm on that one now.
It's
got a photo. I haven't read it.
According to good old Cliff Kincaid. Oh no, this is Lloyd Marcus. I lied.
Yeah. I feel like these must be pseudonym.
Martin Luther King would be appalled by how his vision of equality and unity has been perverted into an anti-Christian movement that demands the whites hate themselves, kneel and beg forgiveness for being born white.
The best bit is his conversational tone. He's talking to you like he's your mate. He's your deep south drawl. He's your deep south drawling, banjo playing, just he's a fella that you'd have a beer with. Folks, I realize many of you are going through the same range of emotions as I am. Watch the leftists' full-blown war on our country. One part of me wants to produce a YouTube video. But crikey, steady on, Lloyd.
Oh, no. Don't do it. You're going too far, Lloyd. I'm sorry.
One part of me wants to produce a YouTube video in which I scream at the idiots pandering at scumbag hate groups, Antifa, and Black Lives Matter. The other part of me says, Lloyd, you must remain calm and simply deliver facts.
Oh, no.
Simply deliver facts. And without shame,
logic.
Without shame or compunction, the next sentence begins, in the Bible, Daniel was thrown into the lion's den for refusing to kneel and worship the government leader. Daniel said he kneels only to the true God here in the United States of America. Antifa is demanding that white America literally kneel in worship to Black Lives. I don't think they are they?
Oh dear. Lied.
Black Lives Matter, an evil false god. It's a false. Shockingly, Democrats,
He's only doing facts, though.
Mayors, and governors, along with major corporations, churches, and indoctrinated white youths are kneeling. I'm not going to read the whole thing because he does.
It's long, and he goes on. You're right. The facts, and I'm only doing the facts. Black Lives Matter is a false god.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
No, absolutely. I see no problem with that.
He seems like a bit of a massive nut job. I don't know.
He ends it with Joe Biden and the. I'm not going to do the voice. Joe Biden and the Democrats wanna. Oh no, I am going to do the voice. I can't say that. Joe Biden and the Democrats want to prosecute Americans for going to church, but not for burning a church. They find me the bit that where tell me. You can't just
Joe Biden's
stuff like that.
If we look at not foreign policy, domestic policy. Oh yeah, death penalty for anyone who goes inside a church.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah. So what do we want? Equal. Bit of equal rights, some civil rights. We want end to police brutality and oh, that's right. Yes, to kill people. Yeah, no, you're right.
But if you want to burn down a church, irrelevant if there are people inside, do it.
Absolutely, do it.
Did you know Trevor Loudon, who is another one of them from Good or Bad, is informing me that China-oriented communist parties are coordinating violent US protests? Not actually what you think, it's China doing it.
Oh, it is? Oh, well, that had been my hunch all along. But now,
to be perfectly honest...
what was his name?
Trevor Loudon.
Oh, well, now that Trev's told me...
But doesn't this sort of go against the other things they're saying? Because they've been saying that this is like the big American leftist thing, but now if they're saying that it's Chinese, it sort of takes the onus off.
Conspiracy, man. It's all the same thing.
Actually, speaking of Chinese, I found a news article that...
Is it from Gulag Bound?
No, it is a legitimate
I'm not
news
interested.
article if I can find
it's not
it.
legitimate news if it's not from Gulag Bound. While you're trying to find it, I'm gonna grace everyone with some, just for the headlines of some of these, by a guest author who has, Wolfgang Perthen. That's the best name yet.
Wolfgang Perthen
grinds into us in 2020. Naughty.
Oh dear.
Trump call rallies protests to show COVID shaming hypocrisy. I mean, Daniel John Sobieski. This is just a Russian troll, not even trying. And I accidentally clicked on one of their links to their links in the chain. It's a website called Red Pill University.
Oh no!
Which is as mad as it sounds. They've got a moving banner across the top going.
That's not good.
I'm gonna Ben Shapiro. Welcome to Red Pill University, a gathering place for truth seekers who want to make this a better world.
Facts and logic. I found my news article.
Go on.
Relating to China. This is an old favourite being brought back. Indians are using Winnie the Pooh to taunt Chinese amid India-China border violence. This is a remarkably humorous story about some remarkably bad things. Because already, how many was it? 20 Indian personnel have been killed by Chinese border guards. I hadn't heard anything about that, which I think is pretty serious.
Yes. Sorry, I'm just slightly distracted by a headline here that is India, the real Bill Gates wants population. But carry on. Yeah.
I think 20 Indian army members being killed on the Indian-Chinese border is more serious than I thought it actually was the situation. But do not fear, because India has you covered. India is spamming all social media because, as we found out from the whole TikTok scenario that we discussed weeks ago when they set it down to 1 star, the Indian social media can do a hell of a lot. So now they're taking the 2015 photo of him. They turn it to Winnie the Pooh, and it is all over Indian social media.
I love it.
The war is out.
That is the best.
I've never seen this one, but it's actually very good. I don't know how to.
It's great. Fighting tyrants with satire is the best.
Yeah.
Thing. It's got a long history.
If in doubt, just say Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah. The real Bill Gates wants a population culling. In other news, Maoist thugs have been targeting Christians with support from Justice Roberts. I thought Roberts was meant to be a right wing, not right wing nut, but at least fairly right wing.
Roberts was the one who actually was he the Chief Justice?
Roberts.
He is
he's a conservative,
he
right?
He's a conservative, but he's actually fair and has morals. He's a conservative, but he hasn't always got on with conservatives because he has voted in constitutional lines against some conservative things.
Right.
Because they didn't have basis in the Constitution and they shouldn't be doing that, and that's not how the Supreme Court should work. But he's actually he's been a pretty good Chief Justice, if I remember from my A-level stuff.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
He's surprisingly, legitimate despite his.
That's good. Well, and the final one, headline: "Deliver us from evil Democrats."
Wonderful.
Democrats are hell. Oh, he cites the Bible.
Oh yes.
Yeah, a lot as his right.
I did just load up Red Pill University, and I just saw the fake pandemics of Dr. Fauci.
Right. Yeah. No, there's all sorts. Anyway, I think that's about it for Newsn't episode 9. I maintain it is. So
the
9
episode.
The 8th
9.
episode is lost.
No, this is the 8th episode. Episode 9.
No, it's not. Yes, the 8th.
The title is episode 9.
Yeah, the 8th episode, episode 9.
Where we debuted our new person.
Thank you for watching, Enoch. Thank you all for watching. I don't know if and when Newsn't will be back next term. We'll see. We might roll it into another show. And if it is, it almost certainly won't be an ungodly hour on a Saturday morning. No, you watching hope not.
It won't be now.
Well, we won't be back.
Well, that is the end.
Yeah, I apologise. I apologise, as does Jack.
I equally apologise. The early hours got at me there.
Yes,
for a quick second.
Yeah. Okay, we're ending the
man
broadcast
outside
now.
my window, I imagine, is going to kill me now.
We're ending the broadcast now. Before Enoch traces your IP address. See you later.
Well, no, there's the man outside, but
fair enough.
Everyone.
Goodbye, everyone.
Find us next